In a small village in India, residents began noticing a different kind of buzzing coming from a tall tree at the edge of the forest. It wasn't the usual sound of the domestic hives they already knew. It was deeper, more intense, almost like a natural alarm rippling through the branches. Nobody in the village could quite explain it at first. Some assumed it was just an unusually large swarm passing through. Others thought it might be dangerous and kept their children away from that side of the forest entirely. But when a small group finally worked up the courage to get close, they found something most people never see up close in their entire lives. A single, massive honeycomb hanging out in the open. No wooden box, no man-made structure, no protection of any kind, larger than any ordinary hive anyone in the village had ever encountered. And here's what most people don't know. This isn't some rare anomaly or a freak of nature. It's one of the most extraordinary living creatures on the entire Indian subcontinent, a bee that scientists rank among the largest on the planet, and one that local communities, for generations, have called by a name that literally translates to fears. This species is called Apis dorsata, popularly known across India as the rock bee, the giant honeybee, or, in several regional languages, the dam bee. That name alone gives away an important clue about what this creature really is. It comes directly from a word historically used to describe something fierce, aggressive, or sharply stinging. And unlike the domesticated bees that produce commercial honey inside wooden boxes on managed farms, this species has never been tamed. It remains entirely wild, exactly as it has for thousands of years. Its colonies don't build the layered, compartmentalized hives you might picture in your head. They build a single, enormous comb, fully exposed to open air, usually suspended from tall tree branches, jutting cliff faces, or, occasionally, the sides of human buildings when the right conditions align. A single colony can contain tens of thousands of individual bees, all of them living together on that one visible, hanging structure, in plain sight of anyone who happens to look up. Here's where the first real twist comes in. The further north you travel, deep into the Himalayan region, including the Indian state of Sikkim, you find an even more extreme variant of the same lineage, one that many scientists consider to be the largest honeybee species anywhere in the world. Individual bees from this population can exceed 3 centimeters in length, nearly the size of a small insect toy rather than something you'd expect flying through a forest. These bees don't settle for trees at all. They build their combs directly onto vertical cliff faces, at heights that would make almost anyone's stomach turn just from looking up at them. And it's precisely because of these cliffside colonies that one of the region's most dangerous, most physically demanding traditions emerged centuries ago and still continues in pockets of the Himalayas today: wild honey hunting. Local hunters climbed sheer rock faces using nothing more than hand-woven ropes and long bamboo ladders, descending directly alongside entire active swarms, absorbing stings as an accepted cost of the harvest, all just to bring back honey produced under conditions no commercial beekeeper could ever replicate. But the second twist might be the most surprising piece of this entire story, and it's the one that actually explains why a hive of this size can seem to appear out of thin air in a village that never had one before. Unlike common honeybees, which tend to settle permanently in one location for years at a time, Apis dorsata is remarkably, almost restlessly migratory. A single colony can travel between 100 and 200 kilometers over the course of a single year, following the shifting rhythm of the dry and rainy seasons across the region. That detail changes the entire story. It means the giant hive that startled this particular village almost certainly hadn't been sitting in that tree for very long at all. It migrated in from somewhere else entirely, discovered that specific tree at that specific moment, and chose to settle there temporarily, likely drawn by nearby flowering plants or favorable weather. And just as easily as it arrived, it can vanish again the moment conditions shift, leaving behind nothing but an empty branch and a story the villagers will keep telling for years. And there's one final detail that every local resident learns to respect almost immediately, often the hard way. This species has one of the most sophisticated, most organized defense systems found among all social insects anywhere on Earth. The moment an intruder is identified, frequently through nothing more than a single sting near the nest, the rest of the colony can mobilize and track that same intruder for several kilometers, sometimes far beyond where any reasonable person would expect a swarm of insects to follow. This isn't exaggerated local folklore passed down to scare children. It's documented, observed behavior, studied by entomologists specifically because of how unusually coordinated it is compared to other bee species. That single fact is exactly why even communities that have lived alongside these hives for countless generations still keep a respectful distance, and why the actual harvesting is almost always left entirely to trained specialists who understand precisely how to approach the comb without ever triggering that chain reaction in the first place. In the end, what looked, at first glance, like a magical, almost impossible discovery in one small Indian village turns out to be part of a much larger, ongoing natural phenomenon happening quietly across an entire region. A wild, migratory, genuinely astonishing species that occasionally, temporarily, chooses to share space with human communities, leaving behind not just honey, but a quiet reminder that untamed, unpredictable nature is still out there, still capable of showing up without warning, right beneath the very trees that surround the homes we live in every single day.